गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुर सुधारी। बरनउँ रघुबर बिमल जसु, जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवारी सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, बिकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि संभाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे, अस कहीं श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कभी कोविद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाए राजपत दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मैली मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, अस पर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुमरे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुमरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म की दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्ब सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ करे कोई, छूटहि बंधि महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होवे सिद्ध साकी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तने संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान। Don't we feel or shouldn't we feel कि somehow कैसे भी करके हनुमान जी जैसी भक्ति हमारे मन में स्थित हो जाए। The devotion that Hanuman ji has, that love for God that Hanuman ji has, I wish it was there in my heart too. And if it was so easy, then all would have been in love with God, right? But on the other hand, I would say it is definitely easy to fall in love with the Lord. What stops us? What stops us? Let me recite a story on this. Once upon a time, long, long back, when Krishna was roaming the earth, when he was there and you could actually see him, play with him, talk to him. Even now he's there, but in the human form that he had taken. So there was this thing that there were early marriages, child marriages, right? So at that time, once a girl got married, she would not go with her husband. She would stay behind, and when she would be of age a little more, and then she would be sent. So as a child, they would get married, and then later on, after a couple of years, when she was old enough to go to her in-laws' house or her husband's house, she would be sent. And then at that time, they would come and everybody would want to see her. The new bride, of course, right? So this is something called the gona. So it just so happened that one boy, he got married, and later on, when he grew up, he was going to fetch his bride. So Krishna said, listen, please come and show me her face first. You know, Krishna really used to like to meet new people and especially new gopis. So he said, when she comes on the way, I'll wait and show me her face first. So his friend said, of course, Krishna, it will be my privilege, her privilege, that you cast your divine eyes on her. So he went and he was waiting for his bride to come. And at that moment, her mother, was giving her good counsel. You know, shiksha dete hain ki ससुराल में कैसे रहना, नहीं रहना, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. All a list of gyan. And towards the end, she double marked something. She said, listen, where you're going, there is this person called Krishna who lives over there. Make sure that you never look at him, nor do you allow him to look at you. Now this girl, asked, why? Why? What's wrong? Everybody's going to come and see me. Why are you so vehement about this particular boy named Krishna not seeing me? The mother said, now you just listen what I'm telling you, and you please follow and please respect what I'm telling you. She said, okay, mother, I will make sure that no matter what, I will not look at Krishna and Krishna will not look at me. Right? And then she went, and when they reached Vrindavan, when they reached there, quickly Krishna came and he said, oh, there is a new gopi. I really want to meet her. I want to see her. So he said, yes, yes. And this boy turned to his wife known as Madhavi. He said, Madhavi, Krishna aaye hain. Darshan karna chahte hain. Ghungat hatao. And she, on the contrary, when she heard the name Krishna, she just increased. Ghungat is where you cover your face. In many parts in India, this pratha is there where you cover the face, this tradition. So she covered her face, not only her face, she pulled down the ghungat so much that it covered the entire self. So Krishna could not see her at all. Now Krishna said, what's wrong? Why don't you want me to see you? Why don't you want to see me? What have I done? She refused vehemently. She said, not a chance. I'm not looking at him and he's not looking at me. Let's go home. Now this Gwala was very sad, but what could he do? So he went away. And it just so happened that when Krishna would come in the vicinity of anybody's house, everybody from their houses would run out to have a look at Krishna or to talk to him or to offer him something. But on the contrary, this Madhavi would run in the opposite direction. The minute she heard that Krishna is there, she would cover her face fully, she'd run into the house and close the doors. And it went on for a very long time. And people used to ask her, what is your problem? Why don't you want to meet Sri Krishna? Meet him once and then see. She said, no. My mother told me that no matter what, he is not supposed to see me and I am not supposed to see him. ठीक है भाई, time निकलता गया. And that is when Indra got angry. Right? We'll listen to these stories later on also. Indra got angry. And then because they refused to, the Vrindavan Vasis refused to pray to Indra, and they prayed to Govardhan Parvat. And finally, after everything, he went and lifted the Govardhan Parvat, right? To save everybody from the thunderstorms and the winds and the vehement rain that Indra was pouring. So he stood down there and he was holding Govardhan Parvat with his tiny pinky finger. And Madhavi also came running, and at that time, it just so happened that because of the wind, her ghungat went off, right? Her covering of the face, it flew off. And when it flew off, the first thing that she saw was this little tiny beautiful finger. And she said, whose finger is this? Who is this? And the other gopis said, this is the Krishna you have been avoiding. This is the Krishna you have been running away from. This is the Krishna you have been so desperately trying to never look at. It is his tiny finger. He has lifted the Govardhan Parvat. He is playing the flute. He is saving us from the anger of Indra. And then she looked at the hand. He said, oh my God, such beautiful hands. Then she looked at the feet. Such amazing feet. And slowly she looked at his face. And tears fell down her eyes. Tears of sadness and grief. She said, oh my God, what have I done? So many years went by and I never had darshan of Sri Krishna. I never let him look at me. What wrong counsel had my mother given? Why did she want me to avoid Sri Krishna? What was the reason? I wasted all these years when I could have been in the vicinity of my beloved Krishna, talking to him like the other gopis. Oh my God, what have I done? She wept and she wept and she wept. And it is said that this Madhavi was later born as Mirabai. Yes. So before we go on, why is it difficult to fall in love with God? Because we are encouraged not to. From the very beginning, this conditioning of prayers and love for God and all this spirituality is for the old, right? अभी से क्या, जब बूढ़े हो जाएंगे तब करना. Just like Madhavi, we are wasting all these precious years when we can be with our beloved Lord. We can bask in His love. Yet, because of that conditioning, because of that counsel, wrong or right it is for us to decide, we have been avoiding the Lord. He is desperately wanting to look at us. He wants to meet us. He wants to see us. He wants to be with us. But what do? We cover ourselves with a veil. Ghungat, right? So much so we run in the other direction. As if Shri Krishna has a contagious disease. Why do we do that? Why? Because of our preconditioning. We have been conditioned to believe that the material world is important. But the one who has created the material world has to be avoided. And we blindly follow that. हंसते खेलते खाते पीते रोते मरते जाते हैं हम. But the sole purpose of our existence is ignored. So is it easy to fall in love with the God? Is it easy to fall in love with the Lord? Yes, it is. Definitely it's easy to fall in love with God. It's easy to fall in love with Krishna if we give Him a chance. If we look towards Him. If we give Him one glance. Just one glance. Over here, Madhavi did not have to look at Krishna's face. When she looked at his tiny finger, that is where she realized, oh my God, there is so much of divinity and love in him. One glance, one peek. अरे भी देखो तो सही. देखना चाहे ही नहीं तो फिर श्री कृष्ण क्या कर लेंगे? श्री कृष्ण से पर्दा क्यों? Why? Why? Ask this question and keep asking this question to yourself. Let the intensity of this question increase in your mind. क्यों? 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 संसार प्रिय है, प्रभु नहीं. I love the world and not Lord. Why? All the answers are within us. Everything is there. We have to actually look within and question, why am I doing this? What is making me sway away from my Lord? And when she was born as Meera, she was a tiny little girl, born in the royal family with all the luxuries. And they had very good sanskars. She was knowledgeable. She was good in her knowledge of use of weapon, knowledge of scriptures, everything. She was being groomed very well. And on top of that, those families had these prathas of going and sitting in satsangs, listening to Hari Katha, calling sages over. This divine tradition of our country, where we go to the sages, we pay our respects, we invite them to stay in our vicinity, we invite them over. We go and listen to what the sages have to say, is being lost right now. This is our tradition. Sadhu, Mahatma, saints, tapasvis, we actually treat them as the Lord Himself. But in today's world, we are too busy inviting and partying, where we have forgotten who has truly to be invited in the house. How a sadhu is supposed to be welcomed. How is he supposed to be treated. And not only this, if a sadhu is there in town, if a saint or a sannyasi or a learned person is there in town, we have to go and pay our respects. If he is talking, go and listen. That is saying, right? आज करे काल करे सो आज करे सो अब, पल में परले होएगा, फेर करेगा कब? It means what you are doing day after, do it, or tomorrow, do it today. And what you are doing today, do it now. How do you know tomorrow or even after a second will you have time enough? Why postponed this love affair with God? Why? कल कर लेंगे, कल आए ना आए. किसको पता है? आपको पता है? परीक्षित को पता था? हमें पता है? नहीं. Nobody knows. So over here, Meera started growing up and they would go to satsangs. Everybody would sing and sit there and listen, and the sadhu, Mahatma and the learned people will speak. And after the pravachan, after the discourse, the sadhu Mahatma, this divine sage, asked, do you have any questions? Do you have any doubts? Kindly ask. But what happens is, after a while we get into a hurry, right? See, we have only a very limited duration for the Lord. नहीं तो हम बोलते हैं हमारे पास समय नहीं है. समय कैसे नहीं है? 24 घंटे हैं. We all have 24 hours, and 24 hours truly and rightfully are totally to be devoted to the Lord. उसके बाद आप समय दूसरी चीजों के लिए निकालिए. सही जीवन तो वैसे ही जीना होता है. So we say that we do not have time for the Lord. So again, in those days also, in all the discourses, people just got up and they ran to their houses because समय नहीं था ना. They had no questions, or they did not. They were just looking at the watch. Now it's time to go. They did not get lost in the flow of Hari Katha. But this little girl, who was Meera, she went up to the sage and she said, I have a question. Now the sage looked at this little girl. Probably she was not more than 5 or 6 in age. And he said, what question could she possibly have? So he asked her, what do you want to know? And in his mind he was thinking probably she wants a chocolate or a laddu, or in general she'll ask some childish thing. But this Meera, tears started rolling down her eye. Ashru ki dhara behne lagi. She started crying and she said, you know this Lord that you were talking about? This Krishna that you were talking about? Right? You have been talking about Krishna every day. I have been coming to your satsang with my mother, the Maharani, every single day. And now that you ask, do I have a question? Yes, I do. Can you please tell me, this Krishna that you so vividly describe, how do I meet him? How can I meet him? How can I make him come to meet me? Can you please tell me? Can you please tell me? कृष्ण से कैसे मिलूं? कृष्ण को कैसे बुलाऊं? कृष्ण मेरे तरफ कब देखेंगे? कृष्ण कैसे आएंगे? The sadhu Mahatma stared at her, blank stare. And with the intensity with which she was weeping because of her love for Krishna, the sadhu himself felt belittled. He felt कि मैं कौन हूँ? कुछ भी नहीं. I sit and do pravachans every day. I talk about the Lord. People think that I'm a great sannyasi. Yet, this thought कि कृष्ण से कैसे मिलूं, कृष्ण को कैसे बुलाऊं, this kind of a तलब होती है ना, this kind of a desperation to meet the Lord, मेरे मन में तो नहीं आया. क्यों? And he sat down, he said, this divine urge to meet the Lord, why is it not there in my heart? Why? The sage is questioning himself and I am questioning you. Why is there no divine urge to meet God? Huh? We want from God. We do not want God. Right? God give me this, God give me that, God take care of me, God take care of my family, God this, God that. But who has this urge like Meera कि मेरे ठाकुर जी बस मुझे मिल जाए? कब मिलेंगे? कैसे मिलेंगे? अभी के अभी कैसे मिलेंगे? Who says कि ठाकुर जी नहीं आते? Who says कि कृष्ण नहीं आते? There is a song, right? कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं, अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं। बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं। माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं। गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान रीझते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान रीझते नहीं। और राधा के जैसे तुम रिझाते नहीं, माँ राधा के जैसे तुम रिझाते नहीं। गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं, और मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। रोज हम भोग लगाते हैं। Many people don't even offer bhog. Does this thought come to your mind when you're eating? Even this thought is enough. When a bite goes into your mind, does this thought come ki, oh my God, the Krishna in my mandir is waiting. Usko to maine kuch khilaya nahi. Or when you eat a sweet cherry or a sweet fruit or a mithai, when it goes to your mouth, suddenly do you remember, oh my God, this is so delicious. Why haven't I offered it to my Krishna? I have not offered it to Krishna yet. Does this thought bother you? That when you have eaten your food and by chance you have not offered it to your Lord, does this thought bother you that your Krishna is hungry? Yes? Each and every one of us has a mandir in our house, right? But how many of us believe that our Lord resides there? Yes, you'll say, why a mandir and Bhagwan is everywhere. He's in my heart and your heart. सही बात है, पर उसको मंदिर में तो देखना एक बार शुरू करो, तब दूसरे में देखना शुरू होगा, खुद में दिखना शुरू होगा। ठाकुर जी का मंदिर क्यों बनाया जब सेवा नहीं होती उनकी? क्यों बैठाया उनको? Do you feel like getting up in the morning, taking a bath and cooking so that your Lord can eat? Does every family member in your house remind you, अच्छा भगवान को भोग लगा दिया क्या? Happens, right? Somebody might forget, somebody might remember. Is it a tradition in your house that before putting the food in their mouth, they ask, have you offered it to Nandlala? Have you offered it to the Lord? Have you offered it to Krishna? Have you offered it to Shiv, Ganesh? Whoever is sitting in our mandir. Does this thought cross your mind? If it does not, Krishna kaise aayenge? When Meera called, right? When Meera Ma called, he came and he drank the poison that Rana had given her. Poison, because it did not have any effect on her. She even offered that poison to the Lord with the same reverence and love. And Sri Krishna came and drank up the poison for her. When he can come and eat Shabri's bear, when he can come and eat and drink Meera's poison, which was offered to her, won't he come when we call him with so much of love? But the problem is that love is not there. And see, we have to be honest to ourselves. Kitni talab hai? Talab in the sense, how much do you want the Lord? How much do you want to meet the Lord? How desperate you are for the Lord. Ask yourself, क्या ऐसा होता है? ये दिमाग में आता है कि दिन भर से मेरे कृष्ण भूखे हैं. आज दिन भर से मैंने कृष्ण को कुछ नहीं खिलाया. घर में इतनी अच्छी मिठाई आई और भोग लगाना भूल गई. If this thought does not come to your mind, then अभी तो दिल्ली बहुत दूर है. A lot of effort is still needed. And when do we start this effort? Mirabai? She started when she was a 5-year-old child. What are we waiting for? Nowadays, the teenagers have time for everything in the world. But if you ask them to sit and pray to the Lord, there is no time. There is no inclination. They don't realize that everything that they have is given by Him and He can take it away in a blink of an eye. Ek wink and it's gone. Grateful तो हो कम से कम ठाकुर जी की तरफ. नहीं. It's an irony. Why? Because what happened to Madhvi? चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, कृष्ण की तरफ मत देखना और कृष्ण को अपने आप को मत देखने देना. Conditioning. Break this conditioning and Krishna is there. He is there waiting for you to turn towards Him. And these people like Meera and Surdas ji, they exist. They walked in the same way we walk this earth. They are not like legends or from the scripture. There is evidence that they were there. There is evidence of all that has happened to them. Then, do you all know about Surdas ji? He was blind from birth, right? But I would say he was blind, but he could see. We have vision, yet we cannot see. Sad. He was blind, but he could see, and we have a vision, but we cannot see. The truth is, it is not our eyes, but our heart which has become blind. Why? Why? Because again, let's go back to Madhvi. Conditioning. कृष्ण की तरफ मत देखना और कृष्ण को अपने आप को मत देखने देना. क्यों? बर्बाद हो जाओगे. किसने कहा? If you fall in love with God, will you get destroyed? If you fall in love with God, will you leave the sansar or will you love the sansar even more? Attachments will go. The shackle and the bondage of attachments will go. Lord's love, when fills your heart, when Lord's love fills your heart, you're going to love everybody even more. Which I keep repeating, a mother is going to become a better mother, a daughter a better daughter, a child a better child, a teacher a better teacher. When there is universal love flowing through your heart, won't this world become a better world? There is nothing known as leaving the world. संसार छोड़ के कहाँ जाओगे? सारा संसार ही कृष्णमय हो जाएगा. Where will you go? Because everything will become Krishna for you. Everything will become divine. Why the fear? Why the rejection? Why do we not want to turn towards the Lord? Surdas Ji had no vision, right? He could not see, yet he could see. It is said there are many tales about him where they did not understand how he would sing in Thakurji's Haveli without knowing and without seeing how he was dressed. But he could describe what was being dressed, how he was dressed, what was offered to him, as if he could see everything. There was this divine vision. So one day the Pandit says, just put a necklace around Thakurji and let's see what he says. And in his song for the Lord, he says, today my Krishna is Nangu Pangu. He is not wearing anything. And they were astonished. Not only this, it is said that when he would write, he used to need somebody to write for him, right? He would talk, he would narrate, he would write poems and songs. So he always had somebody to write it for him. But there are times when that person who used to write would be absent. Yet there was somebody mysteriously who would come and sit down and make sure that whatever Surdas Ji said was written on paper for him. Nobody knows who that person was till date. Nobody knows. कौन थे वो? सूरदास जी जब बोलते थे तब श्री कृष्ण आके लिखते थे खुद स्वयं. It is said, once Surdas Ji fell into a well and there was nobody around. He did not have the strength to climb up and go out. He kept shouting for help. Days went by and on the 6th day he said, "Arey Krishna, आओ ना Krishna, छोड़ कैसे दिया मुझे, निकालो मुझे यहाँ से बाहर." He was weeping, "Please take me out of here, help me, oh Krishna." And at that time, some boy from the jungle came running. He pulled Surdas Ji out and he was about to run away. And Surdas Ji held on and said, no, don't go away. You are my Krishna, you are my Krishna, you are my Krishna, don't go away. And he said, no, I am just a boy from the jungle, leave me. And, by force, haath chudaya and he ran away. So what did Surdas Ji say? Haath chuda kar jaat ho, निबल जान के मोए, हृदय से जब जाओ तो सबल में जानो तोए. हाथ छुड़ा कर जात हो, निबल जान कर मोए, हृदय से जब जाओ तो सबल में जानो तोए. He's saying, just because I'm weak, you are leaving my hand, you are able to by force release your hand and run away. But I will consider you strong if, O Krishna, you can leave my heart. I've captured you so closely in my heart. No matter how hard you try, I am not going to let you go. The same Surdas was sitting once and Radha Ma and Krishna Ji were talking. And Shri Krishna said, Dekho Radhe, don't go too close to him. If you go too close to him, he is going to catch hold of your feet. Radhe said, no. Why will he catch hold of my feet? Plus he cannot even see. He won't be able to see me. Now he was listening to this conversation between Ma Radha and Shri Krishna. So he understood the indication that Shri Krishna wants him to hold on to Radha Ma's feet. Otherwise, without Shri Krishna's permission, Surdas Ji or anybody cannot touch Ma Radha. Hai na? So again he heard. So again Krishna Ji said, Dekho, don't go close to him. He will catch hold of your feet and then he won't leave it. Don't Radhe, don't. Now Radha is chanchal, right? Very naughty. She said, oh really? And she pushed her feet towards Surdas Ji and Surdas Ji jumped and held on to her feet. And by force, because she was very agile and flexible, she removed her feet. But her anklet, her ghungru, was in Surdas Ji's hand. So one ghungru is on her feet, the other ghungru is on Surdas Ji's hand. Now Radha Ma said, now give me back my ghungru, give me back my anklet, because I have to attend a function and there I have to dance and these are the best ghungrus I have. Kindly give it back to me. Surdas Ji said, no, I am not going to give it back to you, Radha Ma, because I'm not sure they belong to you. Radha Ma said, what do you mean you're not sure they belong to me? Of course they belong to me. You just removed them from my leg, my feet. He said, how am I supposed to know? See, I am blind. I can't see. Till I am able to see the other pair of ghungroos and compare them and know that this is the same set, only then will I hand over the ghungroos to you. So Krishna started laughing. And you know what? Krishna and Radha gave him drishti. He was blind, right? They restored his vision. Not only could he see the world, but he could see the divine couple, Krishna and Radha. Surdas Ji looked at them and he was blissfully filled with love. He could not take his eyes off them. Who could? If today Krishna and Radha were to come in front of us, would we want to even wink? No. We would want to just look at them for eternity. And so when he came, and then Radha said, now give me back my ghungru. He returned the ghungru. And now Radha Ma said, see, now that you have seen us, you are entitled for a boon. So tell me, what do you want? Surdas Ji said, I do not want anything. Now that I have had vision of you and Shri Krishna, what else could I want? Nothing else is needed. मुझे कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए. But Radha Ma insisted. So you know what Surdas Ji said? Ma, I want you to take away my eyesight again. Take away my eyesight. And I just want these eyes to see you. This vision, this chavi that I have seen in front of my eyes right now, let it remain in front of my eyes for as long as I live. I want nothing else. Please take away this vision. After I've seen you, I do not even want to pollute my vision by looking at the world. I do not want to look at anything else. May this vision of both of you, this chavi of both of you, stay alive in front of me. Radha Ma said, you do not want your drishti? Said, no. है आँख वो जो प्रभु का दर्शन किया करे, है शीश जो प्रभु चरण में वंदन किया करे. बेकार वो मुख है जो रहे व्यर्थ बातों में, बेकार वो मुख है जो रहे व्यर्थ बातों में, मुख वो है जो हरि नाम का सुमिरन किया करे. हीरे मोती से नहीं शोभाएं नातों की, हीरे मोती से नहीं शोभाएं नातों की, है हाथ जो हरि चरण का वंदन किया करे. मरकर भी अमर नाम है उस जीव का जग में, मरकर भी अमर नाम है उस जीव का जग में, हरि प्रेम में बलिदान जो जीवन किया करे. सोचो, है आँख वो जो प्रभु का दर्शन किया करे. और कुछ का दर्शन करना ही नहीं था सूरदास जी को. He said, no, take away my vision. I don't want anything else. And they took back that eye which would have seen the world and left him with the eye which could see Shri Krishna and Radha all the time. That is love for God. Meera, Shabri, Surdas Ji, they show us what true love, true desire for the Lord is. We desire the world and not the Lord. These people desired the Lord and that is what they got. जो चाहोगे वही तो पाओगे ना. ठाकुर जी को चाहो तो ठाकुर जी को पाओगे. संसार को चाहोगे तो बस उसी में घूमते रह जाओगे. The choice is always ours. The Lord has always given us a choice. We make that choice every single day, every single hour, every single minute. Can't we make better choices in life? We should. Shouldn't we? Irrespective of your age, shouldn't we? मनुष्य जन्म दुर्लभ ये बार बार नहीं मिलता. नहीं मिलता. Now this is what is the beauty of Dasam Skandh. It can make us a Meera. It can make us like Shabri. It can make us like Uddhavji. It can make us like Gopi. It can make us like Surdas ji, Tulsi Baba. That unending flow. Do you know, in the previous sessions in Bhagwat, we have learned about Dhruv ji, right? A little boy, Dhruv. He had the darshan of Lord, right? He had a darshan. And when he had the darshan of Sri Hari, what did he ask for? He asked for sansarik, worldly things. And till date it is said that he weeps. There is something called a Dhruv Tara, where he's sitting. He has everything that the material world can give him. In that star he sits, not on his throne, but in a corner. And till date he weeps. He weeps and he weeps and he weeps. He said, oh my God, I was a child. Probably that's why I did not understand when Sri Hari gave me darshan, when the Lord came himself to meet me. Why didn't I ask for the Lord from him? Why didn't I ask for bhakti? Why did I ask for these menial material things, menial material relationships, love of the menial material people? Because they don't know what love is. All they know is attachment. All they know is selfish attachment. प्यार तो सिर्फ ठाकुर जी से हो सकता है, प्रभु से हो सकता है, हरि से हो सकता है. Till date he weeps, sitting in his Dhruv Tara. Just imagine, he has a star for himself. Yet, he weeps. So what are these things trying to tell us? What are these stories? What are these experiences trying to tell us? Don't get lost no matter what your age. Correct your focus and connect to the Lord. Correct your focus right now, this very minute. Don't be like Madhvi, who listened to the wrong counsel and just forgot the Lord and turned away. Don't listen to anybody. Listen to your heart. Something inside you will guide you, and you will know that guidance is telling you to connect to that divine who has created all of us. This Dasam Skandh actually helps us make that connection. Make that kind of a connection. And when you make that kind of a connection with the divine, with Sri Krishna, everything around you becomes a divine relationship. Then in your heart, there will be no place for dvesh. There will be no place for rag also. Dvesh is hatred, rag is attachment. There will only flow through you pure love. The mine and thine will disappear. This is mine, this is yours. This is not mine, that is not mine. I will take care of only which is mine. Your things you manage. I will help people who I know, who belong to my country or my city or my state or my religion. Rest I won't help. Kyun bhai? When we heard about Rantidev, even in a dog he saw the Lord. Be it a Chandal or a Shudra or a Brahmin, he saw that same divine Lord. किससे बांधू बैर जगत में कोई नहीं पराया. किससे बांधू बैर जगत में कोई नहीं पराया. हर मानव में प्रतिबिंब लेके उसी भ्रम की छाया. रे उसी भ्रम की छाया. कहाँ ठाकुर नहीं है, कहाँ नहीं है प्रभु. सब जगह तो वही है, सबके दिलों में तो वही समाया है. कहते ना, मुझको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में. मुझको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में. मुझको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में. मैं रहता हूँ विश्वास में, फेथ. faith comes, and this Dasam Skandh, which Sri Krishna himself is narrating, will reinforce that faith in Lord. When you get up in the morning and you're still breathing, be thankful to God. With faith, see, you sleep at night very sure that you'll get up in the morning, right? Who makes sure that you get up in the morning? That Lord. That Lord. When you're sleeping, He guards you. When you're awake, He protects you. When you are not going in the right direction, gumrah ho jate ho jab, tab He guides you. But we do not know, because it's not Surdas who is blind, it is us. दृष्टि में तेरी खोट है दुनिया निहारती, दृष्टि में तेरी खोट है दुनिया निहारती. खोट हमारी आंखों में है. Dasam Skandh is going to open our eyes. Look at Parikshit. He's restless. He's like, you told briefly about Sri Krishna that, okay, there was somebody called Krishna, he was born, and that is it. But Vistar se sunaiye. Please explain in great detail. You have explained about so many kings, Suryavanshis, Chandravanshis, all the entire lineage in different ways, different stories. But why the narration of my Sri Krishna is so small? Please elaborate. At that time, Shukdevji said, yes, but you have been sitting for so many days. You have not eaten, you did not drink anything. Why don't you just take a break? Right? Why don't you just take a break, go eat and drink something, and then we'll continue? Now Parikshit ji says, eat and drink. I do not want to eat anything. I do not want to drink anything. There is no urge in me to eat or drink. I've given up everything. And where will there be any thirst? I am drinking, I am listening, and I am drinking from my ears the name of the Lord, the nectar in the form of the name of the Lord. After that, what else? What other desire can remain? Yes, I was thirsty and I was hungry once, and due to which I have entered into this great royal mess and punishment. When I was thirsty and hungry, when I was crowned with the gold, I lost my focus. I put a snake around a sage's neck, and his son cursed me that very snake, Takshak, is going to eat me up. Yes, I was hungry, I was thirsty, I was carried away, and that is when I made this great mistake. I ornated a sage with a snake. Now neither am I thirsty, nor am I hungry, nor do I want to look at anything else, nor do I want you to stop Takshak, the snake, from coming and eating me. Nothing is needed. I don't even want to leave this asana right now. All I want is to listen to the stories of the Lord. And he's saying, what more other than what is needed? He says, what is needed? What is more pleasing to the ears as well as the mind, and constantly sung even by souls from whom the thirst of pleasure has departed? See, they have left everything. The thirst of pleasure, the thirst of material, the thirst of money, the thirst of houses, the thirst of relationships, the thirst of family. Everything has departed from these royal sages, these great sages, tapasvis. Yet they desire the Lord. I want to listen to him, about him from you. ऐसा क्या है? You can leave everything. You become a yogi, tapasvi, jnani, 60, 100,000 years of tap. Yet, at the end, what do you want? Devotion to the Lord, and you want the Lord. That is the Lord I want, and I want to hear about. Now, in Parikshit's heart, this kind of desire for the Lord had awakened. It was a trishna for the Lord. This restlessness to know the Lord, hear about the Lord, has awakened. And this is what Shukdev ji actually wanted. See, he could have said anything, right? You have 7 days, you can do yagya, tap, this, that, fasting. No. But what was the surety that at the time of his death, at the moment when he was about to leave his breath, nothing else would come to his mind but Sri Krishna? There was no surety. Tap, jap, yem, niyam, yagya, reading scriptures and vad, samvad, nothing guarantees that at the last moment you'll think about the Lord. Then what guarantees? What guarantees? If that divine love has been awakened in your heart, like we talked about so many people, like we talked about Draupadi in the last session also, we talked about Mirabai, Shabrima, Ma Yashoda, Surdas ji, that divine flame was ignited. Now this flame is ablaze. What is the flame? Flame of the Hari Nam, flame of the Krishna Nam. And when this flame is ablaze, it cannot be extinguished. Possible any. And that is what Shukdev ji wanted to do. He wanted to light the flame of love. Because no matter what you do, be it Kriya, Yoga, Tap, ultimately you're just cleansing yourself to love the Lord. So he's trying to ignite that flame so that at the time of his death, nothing else comes to his mind but Sri Krishna. And this Dasam Skandh has the power to do that. Power to ensure that when you're breathing your last, nobody else comes to your mind but Sri Krishna. As I told you, right? Bhagwat is an answer to only 2 questions. How do I die? And if I want to die like that, how do I live? How do I die? Hari, 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 Hari. Only God in your mind, breath, your being should be immersed in the Lord when you're breathing your last. And how do you reach that stage? There is a certain way to live, to fall in love with that divine. There is a certain way to live, to invoke devotion in that divine, towards that divine. So, maru kaise? और वैसे मरना है तो जीऊं कैसे? How should one die? And if somebody wants to die like that, how should one live? And why is this called the Nirodh Skandh? Because over here, that control in the self can be established. And when you're breathing your last, nobody, nothing comes to your mind but your Lord. आसान नहीं है, पर संभव है. It's not easy, but it is possible. कईयों ने करके दिखाया है. Many have shown it to us. If they can, why can't I? And Parikshit said, I don't want anything. I just want to listen to Sri Krishna's tale. Please tell me about everything you know about Sri Krishna in detail. Do you know, it was that Sri Krishna because of whom the Pandavas were able to fight those magnificent warriors like Bhishma, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, Duryodhan, Karna, all far superior, all stronger, the numbers far more than their army. But Krishna was on their side. Krishna lived in their heart, and hence they were able to sail through this fire, this ocean of fire, and come out victorious. Sail through this ocean of fire and come out victorious. That Krishna, I want to know about. Please tell me in great depth about Sri Krishna. I am not hungry, I am not thirsty, I don't want anything else. The only thirst that I have is for Hari Naam, Hari Kirtan, Hari Katha. Now Shukdev ji is feeling so delighted. Anybody would feel delighted, right? Nowadays it has become a trend to have masses and thousands of followers and 60,000, 1 lakh. पहले नहीं था. पहले एक गुरु होता था, शिष्य होता था, बस. because it is very difficult to get a student like Parikshit. That yearning for the Lord, that intense yearning for the Lord. And then when a teacher is able to find a student who has this kind of an intense learning, then it benefits everybody. It benefits the guru, it benefits the student, it benefits everybody who is hearing. It benefits the shrota, it benefits the vakta, it benefits everybody. It benefits the person who has asked the question, and it benefits the person who is just listening. When this yearning, intense yearning, awakens in anybody, that distance between the Lord and you, the distance remains nothing. When somebody asked the gopis, Krishna chale gaye, the gopis said, who said Krishna chale gaye? Here, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna ही है, कृष्ण के अलावा कुछ नहीं है. मैं नहीं, ये कृष्ण है. मैं नहीं, ये कृष्ण है. मैं नहीं, ये कृष्ण है. मैं नहीं, मैं कृष्ण है. कृष्ण 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 है, कृष्ण के अलावा कुछ न है. जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की. जय बोलो हनुमान की. जय बोलो हनुमान की. बोलो बजरंग बली की जय. जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान, जय हनुमान.